Hello from Liverpool Airport, where I've got a day off today, so I'm going on a day trip to Dublin. Here we go then at Liverpool John Lennon Airport, and I've got some really fond memories of this airport. I like it, it's friendly, it's efficient, and it's still busy enough though to connect you to dozens and dozens of destinations across Europe and further, which we'll cover later in the video. I also like that when you compare it to Manchester, the other big airport nearby, here, because it's smaller, you can be from the front doors to the departure lounge in literally a couple of minutes, especially since the changes they've made to security in the run-up to the 2025 summer season, which we've covered in the last video. If you've not watched it, do go back, have a look at that last video, which is all about getting you ready for if you come here, knowing what to do to make your experience much quicker and easier. Now, there has been loads of changes, as we've said, but there are bits of the departure area that's still a little bit dated, but there are some good areas as well. A good view over the apron, plenty of seating. If there's none in the main sort of area you get to, walk down to by the gates. Yes, you're further away from the facilities, but there are plenty of seats dotted around the place. So like I said, got the day off. Where could I go on a day trip? There's quite a few places in Liverpool actually, and today I've chosen Dublin. I could have got the Ryanair flights, £16 each way, so £32 in total. I've paid a little bit more to go Aer Lingus, and it's actually Emerald Airlines that run their regional service, so flights from the UK over to Dublin are normally done by Emerald Air. I thought it gives me a chance to try a different airline, an airline I've not flown with before, and also a different aircraft, an ATR 72, which I've never flown on either. So yeah, should be fun. So it was time to walk out across the tarmac and get to the plane. This is an ATR 72. It's in a 2-2 setup, so it is nice and cosy. Loads of us had issues trying to find what our seat numbers were, but they're up in the light rail above the seats and above the luggage bins, so it is a bit tricky to see. Interesting that the first thing the pilot wanted to tell us was that the plane is 18 years old, and to be honest, it does show it in some places. However, the little kid inside me does love this plane, with the fact that you look out your window and there are the propellers. Once a few people had been moved around, evenly distribute the weight across the plane, it was time to get up into the air and head west to the Emerald Isle. So up in the air, looping back over Liverpool and then heading west over the Irish Sea, and it was a bit of a rocky flight to begin with. But soon the crew were coming around with the drinks and snacks, and I'm slightly surprised that you don't get anything included. Now, I know it's a budget price, but it's not really a budget airline, it's a flag carrier airline, it's a code share with British Airways, and when you think the BA flights from London down to Heathrow do include just a bottle of water and a snack, I was expecting something. We had a really good tailwind, so coast to coast took about half an hour with a total flying time of 40 minutes. Once we'd touched down, taxied to a fairly remote stand. We got on the bus and took us to the terminal. Again, even though it's a big airport, it was really quick walk through to arrivals. And once there, it was time to get on the air coach. Or so I thought. So what a numpty first error of the day. And I've left my hoodie on the plane. So I've spoken to baggage, I've spoken to lost property. Basically it's too early to try and get it back. I need to come back before I come home. So hopefully I'll be able to get it back. So after that, it was time to go and get on the air coach from outside Terminal 2. This was going to be the coach taking me from the airport to Connell Street in the middle of the city. So there goes the air coach. Welcome to Dublin, the city of 1,000 pubs. So we only had a few hours to explore, so I booked myself a Do Dublin Green bus tour, the hop on, hop off, 24-hour ticket, and it was a great option actually because it linked in with the ticket for the air coach to get me from and back to the airport. Now Dublin, it's not a huge city, but what it lacks in the size it makes it up for with the character, and it's got a deep sense of history and also that unmistakable Irish charm. Sitting on the banks of the River Liffey, it's a capital that's been shaped by Vikings, revolutionaries, poets and musicians. And it's a place where the past and the present really live comfortably side by side, whether it's the medieval castles or the lively pubs. The route on the bus, it winds through the centuries of the story of Dublin. It gives you a front row view of all the most iconic landmarks, whether that be Trinity College, the cobbles of Temple Bar, or of course, the Guinness storehouse.
Did you enjoy Guinness anyway?
Now I couldn't come all this way and not have a pint of the black stuff, but although there is the gravity bar which is at the top on the roof of the storehouse, you can't just go in there for a pint, you have to do the full tour. I've not got the time for that. You can take a short walk around the main building and you come to here, the Guinness Open Gate Brewery. What they've got is a load of experimental beers that are made right here in this brewery, but it's all Guinness. But I'm just going for a normal Guinness draft and then some loaded fries as well. So here we go, cheers. Nearly split the G. Me and Max just wanted to have a quick break and just say thank you very much for supporting the channel. Everything I do here at the moment is self-funded, so anything that you do to support me really is gratefully received. There's a number of ways you can do it. First of all, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Other ways, down in the description you'll find a link to my Top Cashback. It's a referral link, it costs you nothing, but Top Cashback is a great way of saving you money when you buy things online. I always use it when I'm doing travel things. It's just a great way of getting some money back. You get something, I get something. Again, it doesn't cost you anything. Another way you can support me is through the Buy Me a Coffee. You can support me either one-off or with a monthly donation. Every penny I get goes to help fund my trips, create content and carry this channel forward. So however you support me, whether it's subscribing, whether it's using the Top Cashback link, whether it's Buy Me a Coffee, thank you very much from me and from a Sleepy Max. Right, back to the video. So after that I thought to take a bit of a walk back to get the coach back to the airport. And so walking along the banks of the Liffey, and it's got me thinking, has it been worth it, this, 4 hours I've spent in Dublin? And yes, it has. I'm not going to try to claim that I've soaked up the city because I haven't, and I never expected to, and I never thought I would. But it's given me enough to say I definitely want to come back and spend longer here next time. But if we go back to the beginning and where this started of, I have a day off, can I go for a day out from my local airport? It's a success because at the end I'll tell you what this has cost me, and if we take out the parking, this has cost me the same as it would cost me for a return train ticket from Liverpool to York. And I know that because I did it recently. So in that sense, yes, it has been a success because, you know, for the same price I've been able to come to effectively another country and soak up some of it. So in that sense, yes, it's been a success. And after all that, there was just time to take in the spire of Dublin, the metal structure that stands 120 metres tall on O'Connell Street, before it was time to get on the coach and go back to the airport. Dublin Airport, it's Terminal 2 and it's a fair size and it can take you a while to walk from one side to the other. Although again, getting through security at the time I went was pretty quick. Now, one of the big advantages here is if you're going over to the US, because they have United States pre-clearance within Terminal 2. Now what this means is that if you're going to America, you do all of the US immigration, customs and agricultural inspections before you go. It's one of only a few airports outside of the US that offers this. But what it means is that your flight, even though it's coming from Dublin, is classed as a domestic internal flight. So all of your immigration is already done. So you've not got to wait in the queues, you just go straight to the baggage hall. Now, if you're starting your transatlantic trip from Liverpool, this is a major time and stress saver. So after the walk down to the gate, the bus ride over to the plane, it was time to go home. This is the ATR 72 plane which Emerald Airlines use on this route. The legroom, it's okay, I'm 6 foot. I've got okay room. If it was any more than 40 minutes an hour, I think I'd struggle being 6 foot tall. But other than that, it's fairly pleasant. This flight going back, it's a newer plane than the one this morning. The one this morning was 18 years old apparently. And it showed. But no, this one, it's much more modern and a much smoother flight as well than this morning. So one thing we're going to do on these reviews is I want to time how long it takes to get through the airport. When we land, I'm going to start a stopwatch as soon as the seatbelt sign goes off. Then I'm going to time how long it takes to leave, get off the plane. Arriving early, apparently you're going to be getting about 8:10. So hopefully it'll be quiet and we'll get through quickly. So from seatbelt sign going off to walking through the final doors into arrivals, 11 minutes and 46 seconds. Not bad when you consider 6 of those minutes were sat still on the plane. So how much did this all cost? Well, the flights booked directly with Aer Lingus was £60 and 1p. The Smart Park Airport parking through Holiday Extras cost me £17.48. And the air coach linked with the 24-hour Do Dublin hop on hop off bus ticket was a total of €43 or £34. So in total, the day trip cost me £111.49. Well, it's 1 week later and I've tried with the airport, I've tried with the airline, and the hoodie is off having a brilliant adventure. I just wish I knew where. Moral of the story, when they say check you've got all your personal belongings with you, check you've got all your personal belongings with you. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for joining me, and hopefully I will see you on the next journey.